Bow staff, two-step, side strike, high stance. We're going to continue building on what we have learned so far. We started off with the baseball swing. We modified the baseball swing to a low stance and then a two-step side strike. We're going to go now to a high stance. So we're going to modify, in essence, the baseball swing, not to a low stance, but a high stance. Our ultimate goal will be to combine these two items and have kind of a four-step method. So we'll have another two-step method here. We'll have another starting point stance, and we'll be able to really look at what we know so far and just always be able to build on what we know so far. As we do that, we're going to be able to build and compile different types of combinations exponentially as we learn each new skill. You'll be able to see as we combine this skill with the skill we learned last time, we have a lot of combinations just with those two items. Next time, we'll continue on with a four-step stance, which is really kind of our goal. That's going to be our baseline setup. A four-step stance because it's nice to have that four-step beat. So we'll combine the last two-step method on the low stance to some of the components of this high-step stance to a four-step method in the following presentation. We'll start off once again with our familiar baseball grip with the right hand on the top, the left hand on the bottom. We are at the base of the bat or the base of the staff. We're then going to modify that, moving our hands up on the staff, in essence choking up, as we would say in baseball. So now we've got our hands up top, we're choking up on the staff. Now we'll take a look at that side swing. So now we're at the side swing baseball stance, moving then the hands up to the center of the staff, and this would be our standard kind of baseball swing. We had before a baseball swing where we have the staff up top. Last time we modified that by moving the staff down and resting it on this shoulder. What we're going to do now is modify it in essence the other way. Rather than resting it on this shoulder, we're going to wrap the staff all the way around, as you can see on the opposite angle. So instead of resting it that way by bringing this tip down, we're bringing the bottom tip up. So instead of having this tip start here and rest on this shoulder, we're bringing the bottom side up as far as it can go till it rests here. So our difference between the two-step methods, both the last presentation and this presentation, are really that we're extending and wrapping ourselves as far as we can go, either wrapping the tip all the way around to the shoulder or wrapping the back all the way around so it rests here. And what that does is it allows us a full range of motion. So when we start to wrap around and go back around, we're getting a full range of motion and twisting all the way up and then twisting all the way back around as we go. So if we see that, then note up here it's tucked in under the arm. We'll see that more clearly once we turn it around. Note that this hand is right in the middle and you can see the grip on that, and then you've got this hand up top. It's easiest to see once you start with the baseball swing and then modify it. We'll see it once again from the front angle, and that'll be helpful to see. Note how we're pointing right there. You can actually point the tip and look down kind of like the barrel of the staff. And that is where you're going to strike. And what you'll actually do, what we'll do is we'll bring this side all the way around. So it's going to be a long strike, but it'll actually come from the side as we're doing here. And we're going to stick with this side swing. You can also do this, of course, with an overhand swing, but we're sticking with the side swing as you would do basically for a standard kind of baseball swing. So we would bring it all the way around and then to the strike. So notice it's going all the way around here to the strike with a familiar type of motion that we've seen in the prior two-step method. So we're bringing all the way around to the strike in the front. So we've got, I will give the front angle on this. We're going to have our baseball swing down below. We got our grip, our normal kind of baseball swing. And of course, we're going to move up. And now we'll get a good view of this grip as we modify it from here to now this step. Notice what we did. Instead of bringing the tip back as we did last time, we're bringing the base up. So we're bringing the base up as far as it can go until it rests on our arm under here. We rest right on the meat of the arm, and that gives us the full twist. And you can see kind of angle of the body as you do that. You're going to angle the body to basically put that and rest that there. That gives you the full twist of your body in that motion. So, and then we're going to wrap it all the way around. So here's going to be our baseball swing. It's a little bit tricky to get used to this. Once you do it, it's just natural to do. So here we are. We're just wrapping the bottom. So notice we just picked the bottom up, wrapped it around as far as it can go until it rests here. We're angling our elbow up so that it's basically going as far as it can go. And then you're wrapping here so that you're pointing this side basically right out in front of us. This side is basically pointing at what you're looking at. It's kind of a neat stance to look at, because when you actually see this and you're pointing the staff at somebody, you're actually pointing kind of like the barrel of the staff at them. And then you would bring it, and then you could bring this all the way around. When we then strike, it'll come all the way around, and that's going to be the method of it. Note, we're going to combine this method as well next time with the prior two-step method, so we'll have basically 4 steps. And that's really our ultimate goal, to take this and the prior one and then combine it to the 4 steps. And that'll be the beat that we'll have, the rhythm we'll have once we do that. So here's going to be our stance. Notice if you bring this arm up, you can hold it just with one hand. So this is where we are, and we're resting it right on the meat. And this other hand is just going to grab right in between our elbow. So right in our forearm area. And you got that underhanded grip. So notice it's coming up. Notice where the knuckles are. You're going to grip right under there. And so you can't see here, but you're looking this way, of course. So that's going to be the grip, the best angle on the grip. So you got this around here, and you've got this grip going around up top. And then, of course, again, we're going to wrap this around all the way until the strike is here. This tip's going to go whoop, boom, and then we'll have the side strike on this side. So we'll get a full wrapping, full range of motion all the way from the top, pointing out from the top. And again, notice the angle here. You get a good workout on the legs as you have the angle of the legs as you wrap it around. You're going to get the full range of motion. And then we're going to wrap it around to the strike. The same strike once you get basically all the way around. It's the same strike, same side strike, same look to it once you get down to this setup. Notice you can get some rhythm with this. It takes a little bit more time to kind of get a rhythm with this. And notice once you wrap it around from this point back, you gotta get used to that, because it's kind of like a 2-step. That's why we'll do a 4-step later, which will be kind of more rhythmic as you wrap it back around. But you want to get a flow to get it back up to this. Wrap it right around. When you wrap it back from here, it's kind of a bit of a jerky flow to do it. You can almost do that in 2 steps, which we'll do next time. So here it is again. We'll go a little bit faster. We'll start from the baseball swing. You're going to wrap it up. So now that's going to be our starting point. This is just the difference. We're just starting from here rather than a low stance. So we're starting from a high stance rather than a low stance. Again, we're just going to take this, wrap it, and then strike here. So that's just wrap it full range of motion. We're going to wrap it over our head, and that's a pretty nice angle that we can see. So notice we're gripping here. We're just resting it, and then we're going to grab with the other hand right here underneath on that side. So then we got our grip there. We're going to grab right underneath on this side. So then we can wrap that around. So we're going to point, wrap around, all the way around. Full range, it's going to go right over our head, wrapping it around to the side strike, wrapping to the side strike. So you get a full range there. If you do this pretty quickly, you can get a good cardio workout going on this. If you want to get some rhythm going on this, again, you can get kind of that 2-beat kind of rhythm starting and then wrapping it back around. You can get going pretty fast on this. We'll go back to the front view. Once again, wrapping it under, it's going to be resting underneath. So we're resting underneath. Once you get used to just basically doing that and understanding that we're basically taking this piece up rather than the other side going on the other way. So now we're looking at those 2 resting points. We have 2 resting points that basically mean that we're never really having any part of the bow staff just floating in the air as we do with a baseball bat. It's always resting one way. We're going to rest it, wrap it all the way around one way or the other, which gives us that full range of motion, which really helps us to get the full snap that we're going to have at the end. It also helps us to just basically get the full workout, to stretch it all the way around to the head, and then bring it all the way around to the snap up in front. So we'll just snap all the way around. You can get some rhythm. You can listen to music once you get good at this and basically get some different rhythms around as you wrap this full around. We'll then go to the side view. This is going to be, so now we've got the catcher's view. We go up from the baseball swing. We're going to choke up on it. There's the baseball swing. And then again, we're just bringing that around. This is a good angle to have here. Notice it's resting right there. We're grabbing right underneath. And so now we're going to be striking out front. We're pointing out front now to what we would be striking at. We're going to bring it around now, all the way around the head, and bring it around this way. So now the strike is going to be out in front, out to that angle, and we'll bring the strike all the way around. So we're bringing it all the way around, and notice how this goes all the way back up here to the full wrap. That's as far as that's as far as we can wrap it back the other way. So we get the full range of motion, which means you got the full strike up top, the full snap. You're going around as far as you can, considering the fact that we're not following through on it, which gives you the most, power, most wind up that you can do up to the snap area. So now we'll go a little bit faster. We'll get a little bit of rhythm. And so note you can get a little bit faster now, and also note that if you combine this, of course, with the last method we had, you can start to think about the type of combinations you have here. Just from these two basically things, which are in essence the same kind of strike, you can get a lot of different combinations between those two things. You could start doing this and then doing the side strike and working those two into some kind of pattern, any kind of pattern. There's basically just with these two things an infinite number of patterns that you could basically put together and get a workout, and that can be, a fun little routine that we can have, and it's just be easy kind of thing to build on and work together. Next time, of course, we will do that. We'll put these two together, and then we'll have a 4-beat method, which is really the thing I think has the most rhythm. I enjoy the most to basically do that 4-step kind of beat method, and then once we have that, then we'll start to adjust the angles of this. We'll move this to the front instead of to the side, and then we'll adjust the angles of the swings from a downswing to an upswing, and just from that one kind of swing, we'll see a ton of different options that we can have based on just basically the same kind of side swing.